There are some common data engineering tasks that you would find in almost each data warehouse building project. Data enrichment is one of the examples. So this requires bringing together multiple data sources and applying certain transformations to glue them together. Um, SQL used to be one of the most predominant tools to manipulate tables. Uh, Even though SQL is still very common and very powerful language, it requires you to know the syntax and some trainings. With the introduction of UI-based pipelining tool from Microsoft, you no longer need to spend weeks or months on learning SQL. So Dataflow Gen2 from Microsoft Fabric is one of these tools. Um, in past few videos, we learned how to navigate Dataflow's user interface and apply some simple transformations based on single table. Today we are going to explore multi-table transformations. Join me to learn more. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Fikret Azizov, and in this video we are going to discuss multi-table transformations in Dataflow. There are two multi-table transformations. That's merge transformation and append transformation. The merge transformation is similar to join construction from SQL. The people who know the SQL will remember that for SQL you have to designate one table as a left table and the second table as a right table. And then you have to decide on a column, link column between these two tables from each side. The merge transformation works similar way. In addition to that, you have to decide on join types. These are the join types that are available in Dataflow. Left outer join ensures that you have all the rows from left table and the corresponding rows from right table. Whereas right outer join will ensure the quite opposite. So all the rows from right table and the corresponding rows from left table. Inner join will ensure that only rows which are present from both tables, the common rows present from both tables, survive. Full outer join will bring rows from both tables. Left anti-join will bring all the rows from left tables that do not have match in right table. And the right anti-join will work the opposite way. In addition to that, there is also a fuzzy matching option in merge transformation, which allows you to clean up irregularities in your data. So basically, you can match based on similarities rather than exact match. The append transformation is equivalent of union transaction construction in SQL. It allows you to stitch together tables with similar structure and vertically. Let's jump into live demo. Let me describe you data that I'm going to use for the purpose of this demo. So this is play data, so that's sales data, daily sales data per country. I borrowed it from Microsoft website. It's for test purposes. and I combined multiple months information in one spreadsheet. So you can see we have January and all the way up to until April. I intentionally changed some of the countries' names, so I introduced some typos here, which will be useful when we talk about fuzzy matching. And then I created a lookup table of countries here with the ID and the country names. All right, I am in Microsoft Fabric and I created new data flow. I'm gonna add the Excel spreadsheet to my data flow. So I'll head to Get Data and click Excel Workbook, and I'll select Upload File option, and I'll click Browse button to upload my file, to select my file. So by the way, I will provide a link for this file in case you want to experiment yourself. So I'll select my file. So that uploads the file, and I'll click Next, and we'll select all 5 tabs to be added to my data flow. That creates 5 queries. Now let's take a look at monthly sales data. So if I select January data, we can and expand the data panel. As you can see, my column headers start at the 5th row. So I'm gonna remove the first 4 rows for this table. So I'll head to remove rows, transformations that we discussed in the last video, and I'll select remove top rows, number of rows, and I'll provide 4. And I'll use first row as headers transformation so that my column names become the first row. I'm going to apply same transformation for remaining monthly queries. Now let's take a look at the country table. So here we have country ID and the country name. What I'm going to do is we'll join January data to countries based on country name as a key column, and we'll receive country ID to be attached to my January information. So I'll select January information, January query, and we'll head to merge queries. And here we have 2 options, merge queries and merge queries as new. I'll describe merge queries as new in a moment, but for now, let me start with merge queries option. And here we have to select 2 tables. So the first table, which is also called left table, is already pre-selected. So that's my January information. And I'm going to select countries table as right table. And then I have to select link column from both sides. So from left side, I'll select country table, and I'll do the same for right table. Next, I have to decide on join kind. So these are available join types. With notice that when I select each join type at the bottom of the window, I can see number of match. So in this case, it tells me left outer join will produce 183 match out of 189 rows. So let me start with left outer join and hit OK. And here you can see that we have new column added here, the countries column. So I can expand this column to bring necessary columns from this table. I'll click on this button, expansion button, and we'll remove, uh, we'll exclude all the columns except country ID. So now we have country ID column brought from countries table. And as you can see, for first few rows, we have this column is empty. That's because these countries do not present in countries table. If I scroll down, I can see that as few more rows are empty. That's because we have typos in the names. And that's because the lookup we are looking for exact match. Now let's see how we can fix this issue. I'm gonna go back to my merge queries, and if I scroll down, I can set this use fuzzy matching checkbox, which allows me to make matches based on similarities. So now you can see that my number of my match increased from 183 to 186, which is exactly what I was looking for. So if I click OK and navigate to last step, and if I scroll down, now you can see that merge was able to bring country ID even though my name, country name wasn't correct. Okay, now let's explore other types of merge. So I will go back to my merge settings and I'll select inner join. With inner join, merge was able to bring only 186 rows. So these are the rows for which we had country match. So if I navigate to the last step, you can see that there are no more nulls here because these rows have been skipped. Now let me go back to my merge settings and explore left anti-join. So just to remind, this will bring only rows that have no match in the right table. Sure enough, you can see that this European countries related rows are only ones in my output. Now let's talk about other merge query options that we have seen here. So if you have noticed the queries that I have started my merge with, so that's January 2019 query, has been transformed. So it's no longer in its original shape. Although we have this query name here, so we have certain transformations in it. So that may not be desirable in some scenarios, especially for the tables that you may want to use in more than one places in your data flow. So examples could be countries table, right? So which is common between these tables. You want to join this table to other tables. To address this kind of scenarios, we're going to use merge queries as a new. So let me first revert my transformations. Um, just like in previous case, I will select January transformation, but when I go to command bar, I'll use merge queries as a new option. And the rest is going to be the same. So I'm going to use contents table. I'm going to use key columns, and we'll hit OK. Now you can see that my original query, January 2019 query, is unchanged, but I have new query, which is called merge. I'm going to rename it. Now this is a separate query which I can treat as an independent flow. Now let's explore append queries transformations. Just like with merge queries, append comes with two variations, append queries and append queries as new. Let me select one table, so January information, and I'll navigate to append queries as new because I want to create a separate query. And here I have two options. Two tables options allows us to address relatively simple cases with only two tables. But because I have more than two tables, I'm going to use three or more tables option. From here, I can add queries that I want to be consolidated. I'll hit OK. And this creates a brand new query. So it's called append. I'll call it all sales. And if I scroll down and take a look at my data, I have January, February, and so on and so forth. So I have all the months in this query. Now you may ask, what if some of your tables have slightly different structure? Let's say some of them have extra column. So turns out append queries can handle this situation smoothly. So let's add one column to my March data. So I'm going to add simple index column. I'll head to add column, and we'll use index column transformation just to introduce differences in structure. Now we have 5 columns in this table, whereas other tables have 4 columns. So if I navigate to my all sales table, let's see how my append transformation have been applied. So as you can see, for data, for tables that did not contain this extra column, merge populated them as with null values, so it's empty values. And if I scroll down and find March information, now we can see that this column is populated for March data. So that concludes our discussion on multi-table transformations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in future videos.